Hi guys, welcome to a fresh new episode of Booksfinity, and this is definitely a new video, and it's going to be something different. As you can see on the screen, you can see me. You can see a very small portion of me, and this is the very first video, which is going to be very long because. Very long in the sense it's going to be an hour or so long. So I'll provide you the timestamps just in case you have to skip to some part of the video. You can do that, and it will probably save you a lot of time. You don't have to watch the whole 1 hour video, or you can also do another thing, that is, if you want to watch the whole video, which I recommend you should. So if you have time, maybe 45 minutes or 30 minutes, you can just speed up by going in the settings and switching it to 1.5x. So I know a lot of people will not click on this video because of the length. I'm not going to eat up a lot of time. I just want you guys to give you a digital tour of my reading list, of how I keep track of my books. And it is not a sponsored video. Just because I have this Goodreads screen right in front of me, it just does not mean that it is sponsored. It's not sponsored in any manner. I'm clearing that fact. And also, I would like you to show a lot of things. So basically, let's just jump into the video. Also, I have a screen right in front of me where the same thing is shown. So I'm looking in the camera, which is a bit lower, kept right in front of me, and then there's a screen. So I would be looking like this, not like this. So I hope you will be able to manage that out. My face would be over here like this, so I won't be looking every time in the camera. So just bear with me. So let's start the video. Basically, this video I want to show you about how I keep track of my books. Right now, an hour ago, I just finished reading A Promised Land, and I have mixed thoughts about it. I will definitely share that as well. Also, what I do have right now is this book, and it is Haruki Murakami's Norwegian Wood. That is what I'm currently reading. So just because I read a lot, and I always wanted to keep track of my books. Physically, it's there in the bookshelf, right, which is right there. But I wanted something to be there, like a digital copy or something. So I created an account on Goodreads, and it's absolutely free. So you can come here, create an account, and just enjoy. Make reading lists. There are a lot of things you can do. I have not actually explored the whole website since I created it. I started using it last year only in 2021. And surprisingly, what I did was I came here, made my account. I knew good about Goodreads because it had to pop up every time I was exploring something about books. So I was looking for some website where I can get connected with people and then talk more about books. So I got to know about book communities, and uh, you know there are a lot of websites and applications which do the same. So I thought, let's go on Goodreads and create an account, and I did it. And surprisingly, a lot of my friends, not a lot, but I think two or three friends of mine were already using it, and I got connected with them. So I have like six friends on Goodreads. I just use it for reading purposes. I don't generally use it for connecting with people. I have not done it yet. It's been a lot of time, a huge amount of time that I have not actually seen a lot of things on Goodreads. I thought of joining a community or something and start reading their books, but then I thought that I already have a lot of books in my reading list. So let me finish that. But I guess I wanted to return to the community thing, but again, I was stuck with books which were there. Like, so I thought, leave it. Let's just focus on our reading. And I came up with this. So I created an account and I added my books of 2020, 2021, and you can definitely see that right here. When you come, you'll see this portion called a reading challenge, and you can actually set a target of book you would read in that particular year. So like this 2022 reading challenge, I have a goal of 15 books, and it says that I have completed 40% of my challenge. Now if I tell you all my challenges which I have done previously, I took this 2021 challenge, and this challenge I'll tell you about what I read last year, and you will see that I read 76 out of 75 books. So that was pretty massive. Last year I had a lot of time, I guess, and definitely I had a lot of time, and I actually aimed for 2025 books when I started reading. Then I thought, I reached the target of 20, the score of 2021 very soon. So I thought, let's keep on increasing the number. And in December, I fixed it till 75, and somehow, finished reading till 76 books this year. Seeing all my plans, all my examinations, which are going to come, I see that I won't be able to read a lot, so I have just kept a small target of 20. I'm sure I'll be able to read more than 15, 20 books easily. 25, 30. I don't plan to read. I don't plan to see or plan to read more than 30, 35 books this year. 30 would be maximum, I guess, because this year, I took a resolution to read read less books, but read more fat books. That's what my aim was. So I started with Book Thief. I did read a couple of short books as well, like short in the sense 200, 300 pages. The first one I read, Book Thief, was almost 600 pages. Then I remember reading Michelle Obama's non-fiction book, 400 pages. Promised Land, I just finished, 707 pages. Then what else did I read? Do Epic Shit I read, and Picture of Dorian Gray. Those were a couple of short books, and right now what I'm reading, Murakami's book, is also a short book. It's not short if you see, but it's like 388 pages, which is still short because more than 450, 455 pages, whichever book has that, I consider to be fat. And yeah, so this is what it says. Like, I have read 76 out of 75 books. Let's click on view all, and I'll take you to a reading tour of the books I read in 2021. The fun fact right here is that I created my YouTube channel in 2021, and this is my YouTube channel. This was, I think, the best decision I took to start a YouTube channel about my own books, because I already had read a couple, 20, 25 books, and then I was planning to discuss those books with someone, so I just started making videos. And the first video I remember was shot on 25th of April, which is just like today's 14th April when I'm recording it. This video you would probably see tomorrow or day after tomorrow, depending upon the editing system. So I guess 24th April or 25th April, I thought of making a YouTube channel. Though it took me 6 months to actually plan out things. I had thought for a name. I had everything in mind. I did not execute it. Then I started making videos, and since then I've made a lot of videos. You can see here on my screen, and I have also tried vlogging one vlog, Jupiter's Sunday, where I used my telescope and showed Jupiter through my telescope. Uh, yeah, I do own a telescope. If you heard it for the very first time. I'm also planning to vlog again, so let's see when it happens. But yes, I also hosted, not hosted, I did read out poems, and because I write poems, and I have written a few poems. So there are three or four poetries also which I narrated on this platform, on this YouTube channel. Then I did a podcast as well, which is Don't You Read, which was a solo podcast, and then there were myths and FAQs about publishing in India. So this was also, frequently asked kind of questions. And then mythological series, which is one of the most loved series on my channel. And then there was my debut book, The Floating Droplets. Journey has been amazing, if you see, because every reader hears this. I mean, I have not got a lot of views, but I feel 100 views is a point where I start feeling motivated. So every time I make a video, I get an aim of, like, I consider an aim of 80 to 100 views. Getting those views in that particular video kind of motivates me to make another video. But then there are videos of mine which have not reached 100 views, even 100 views, and there are many of them. Not the initial videos, but I can just say Lost Symbol got 300 views. This poetry got 466 views, and that was the highest when I had uploaded this. It was a short, so it got a good reach. And then Indian mythological series has 837 views. This is the most viewed video on my channel. So if you haven't checked out Seven Secrets of Shiva, I mean, this video got me famous, I guess. I'm not famous, but yes, 1,000 subscribers I got mostly because of Indian mythological series, and then a couple of other videos also. I got a good rise in subscribers when I uploaded 1,000 Splendid Suns, and I uploaded it at a very good time because that time Afghanistan was going through that crisis. So yes, after that I uploaded this vlog did not get a lot of views. I did talk about books in that as well, but then it was not what I supposed to be. But after that, you see, after that, I kind of was sticking to 4 minute videos, 4 or 5 minute videos. This one also did not get a lot of views. It was just touching 70, 99. Anyone who's watching this, please get me 100 views on 400 days by Chetan Bhagat. um, Rafa got 124. Yes, this was, I remember shooting this video, and it was the first video in a month that got, like, after a month, a video touched 100 views. So, yeah, kind of. I have great memories, and right now, nostalgia is hitting me hard. Rumi isn't my friend. This this video, yeah, I remember I made it just a night before Sunday, and I was trying something different in this. Uh, should I play? Should I play my video? It would be like reacting to my old videos. Let's just keep it to books. Or okay, let's do everything in this video. I want to explore and react to my own videos. Let's do it. Let's do it today. I played it.
Rumi was a 13th century Persian poet, Islamic scholar, and Sufi mystic originally from Greater Iran. The greatest Sufi writer ever and poet in Persian language. Let's see a couple of powerful quotes from Rumi about life. Live life as if everything is rigged in your favor and set your life on fire. Seek
I was in a hurry. I was in a hurry to record this video and put it on my YouTube channel. I was because it was Saturday night and I had to upload the video on Sunday. That was my initial commitment that I'll upload a video every Sunday, and this kind of did not work out. I mean, it's good, but then
those who fan your flames.
I don't know.
He is a poet of joy and love. His work comes out of dealing with the separation from shams and from love and the source of creation and out of facing death.
Yeah, I kind of forgot my lines after that. So I'm sorry. This was a editing
Hey,
glitch.
it's winter time and we have got a new look.
I got the winter look. I got a hat for myself. It kind of gave me a Persian look as well, to match the Rumi vibes. I got that hat.
But today, what I'm talking about is stories. What
There's a bit of video lag, I guess, because screen recording it might get a
generally
video
are
lag.
stories, a short story, a long story. It all has a sequence of series which goes on. But have you heard about Sufi stories? What are Sufi stories? This is, we all have heard about stories.
I had a very depressing day that day, and I was more of, I was going to make a video on some other book, but then I thought let's make a video on Rumi's book, and I ended up
What we have
doing.
not heard, or you might not know, is Sufi stories. Sufi stories
I was trying to be funny, but then I don't know if my
are a
audience love
blend.
me.
It's a blend or a mixture of different kinds of stories. Now, let me put this in an easy manner for you. Sufi story is a mix of, playful jokes like funny jokes, and on the other side, it is
Was trying to be as funny as I could. I mean, I was trying actions on camera for the very first time. I was trying every damn thing, but I guess just did not work out.
also giving you a lesson. So, a spiritual lesson, or a good lesson, or a lesson in some other manner. And then there are playful jokes. So, it's a mixture or a blend of both these things.
Trying my level best to encourage the readers to get a feel of Rumi's books. And I guess, did I get comments on this video? Did I? Oh yeah, I did. I got three. Oh, nice. I mean,
That is
I don't know.
what makes a Sufi story. It's kind of simple, it's pretty simple. And Sufi stories are very short. How short do you think? Like, how short? There are short stories, there are
See, I'm in a hurry. You can notice that very easily. I'm in a
short
hurry.
chapters. You mean to say that there are two, I'm just like acting like an audience right now. So, what my audience would be thinking. So, you are telling me that it's a short story, that means 2 or 3 pages or 4 pages? No.
uh, this was a massive failure. I actually wanted to merge out, like I wanted to do something like this, like there would be a video and there would be two characters playing in it. I wanted to do that editing stuff, but
Just a single
did
page or
not
a
work.
half of a page, and that's it. Such a short story that ends in half of the page gives you a lesson exact to make. I know Rumi, right? We are talking about Jalaluddin Rumi. You may know Rumi, right? Rumi is not my friend.
That this one was supposed to be funny. I don't know that it was kind of funny when I spoke it, and I expected my audience to love it. I mean,
Sir,
it's funny.
no.
And then, of course, when I was editing, I added this line as well. Rumi isn't my friend. And then from that, the video title was going to be Jalaluddin Rumi. So the book title. That's generally how my videos are, where I put the exact book title. But in this, I thought let's do some creativity, and I added Rumi isn't my friend. I don't know why I got 101 views. I initially when the video came up, I got just 40-50 views, and it was not that. I don't know. Unknown Roads, this was again a poetry by me. Did not work out very well for the audience. Exactly why I got 47 views in that. Every reader hears this was also a fail. 61 views, again a fail. And then this particular line is this year's video section. I have not uploaded, if I would have gone with the track, I would have uploaded 16, 15, 16 videos by now. But I have all only uploaded five. So it's yes, I did not, I did miss a lot of Sundays, mainly due to my examinations. Do Epic Shit is the most viewed. I guess, of this channel of the till now. I mean, this year's most viewed. And Do Epic Shit, I read it. This was a signed copy I got. My hair does not look good in this. The Book Thief was an attempt to make the video encouraging, and that's why if you see this video, I kind of
Welcome to Roadies Season 18.
there's an advertisement on my YouTube channel, on my YouTube video. I'm not aware of it.
The
Okay.
Book Thief is a novel by the Australian author Marcus Zusak, and it is one of his most popular works. It was published in 2005 and became an
Yes.
international
If you
bestseller.
see at 1 minute 34 seconds, this part is basically containing a Shutterstock video. So I tried to make this video encouraging. I still got 106 views, quite happy. And then my second book did not get mainly because of the video duration, 12 minutes. This video is already 21 minutes when I'm recording it, so I don't know if I'll get more than 50-60 views on it. I do not care because I actually wanted to talk tonight, so I just came up with no particular topic, on my head, on my mind. Then Becoming by Michelle Obama is quite close to Do Epic Shit, right? 169 and then 160 views 11 days ago. And Books to Read in April recommendations, 103 views. That's pretty great. In 4 days, I've got 103 views. It's amazing. Some videos get massive number of views, and then some videos do not. They move like very slowly and like a snail. If you see my playlists, okay, my liked videos are kind of visible. Okay, it's private, but yeah, you kind of know the what I recently liked. Uh, Community I have not posted yet. I will post something very soon. Channels I have kept it private, and yeah, of course. Oh, okay. I think this looks pretty good, right? The cover of it, the cover of my YouTube channel, whatever this is called, banner or something. Um, Looks pretty great, I guess. Also, we are on Instagram at the rate Aditya Ansh underscore, so you can get in touch with me. Facebook, just go and search Aditya Ansh. I'm very famous, and I'll pop up on your screen. There's a small thing in my YouTube channel. It is like it's written like this: Aditya Ansh bracket mein photographer. So if you don't know, I'm a photographer as well. Yes. So these getting back to my Goodreads account, you will see a lot of books I read last year, and it's all kept on my shelf. If you want, I can show it to you also, but I don't know if I'll be able to take my computer that side. So I'll make a book tour video, bookshelf video very soon. I have had plans for it, so let's see when that day comes. But yeah, definitely. This is my reading list, as you can see. The first ever book I read was of 2021, of course, was a little book of plants, and I just finished. It's a very little book. It's actually literally it's like this thin, and it's this thin, and you can just finish it in like 5 minutes or 6 minutes. The shortest book you'll ever read by Ruskin Bond. And why I started my year with Ruskin Bond, it was basically because I love him a lot. I have his signed copies. So if you go on my channel and if you search for my Ruskin Bond videos, there was this video which I made on Ruskin Bond, and you will see that I have showed you my signature. I mean, I have met him 3 times. Once in Masuri, no, once in Natraj bookstore in 2008 2009. Then I met him in Masuri, and then I met him in Delhi. So I have got signatures of him. I've got autographs of him. He signed my books, and yeah, here it is. This was a signature right here, Ruskin Bond. And I think I've shown more, or maybe okay, no, I just covered lone fox dancing. So yeah, this was one signature you can see here. That time, if you notice, because many of you noticed it, that I used to keep books, like, if you see here, Devlok with Devdutt is actually kept above these books. So that time I did not have another bookshelf. So what I did was I used to pile up books. So you can see Franz Kafka's Metamorphosis and the Trial kept on Dan Brown's books. That's how I used to pile up my bookshelf. I ordered this bookshelf and it kind of got filled in like a month or so, and then I did not get another bookshelf. So it was kind of getting messy. But then yeah, I got another one. Now if you see my previous videos, this year's videos, or the previous 4 or 5 or maybe 6 or 7 videos, you will see a little bookshelf kept here as well. Um, Talking about Ruskin Bond, it has been, I have described it in this video also. You can check it out definitely after you complete watching this video. It is basically that in this video I have actually described my journey with Ruskin Bond. If I take you to 2008, 2009, I remember that I met Ruskin Bond and I got his first book, The India I Love. That's a very good book, very interesting book to read. It covers a lot of short stories, and it also have poems in it. I read it in 2008. That was my first ever book I have ever read in my entire life. I mean, the first ever book I read was The India I Love by Ruskin Bond. That time I read it, I did not understand a word. And even if I understood, I do not remember anything. So I reread it last year and I understood everything. I understood, sometimes what happens when you read a book for the first time, the meaning does not come out to be, the meanings actually change if you know what I'm trying to say. Like if I read a book right now, maybe I'm like reading Norwegian Wood right now, and after I finish reading it right now, I might get a lot of new thoughts and new ideas. And I also get sometimes curious to understand how the story could have ended better, in a better manner, in a better way. But then after 4 or 5 years, new thoughts come up, and then I start thinking of how great this story is and how big of an impact it has had on my life. And then my meanings definitely change when I reread it. So I think with time and with age, the meanings of book change. And exactly that's what happened with me. And then I met him. I have always tried to find his name in our English textbooks, our English school textbooks. And if Ruskin Bond's name is not there in that whole syllabus of English, then it just gets boring for some reason, because I have kind of known Ruskin Bond since 2008, 2009. I've heard his name, I have read his books. It is kind of, if I tell you about me, myself, I was born in Dehradun, and it's kind of in the middle of hills. So every time I miss my childhood a lot. So it's kind of situated in a very small, it has a part of my heart. So every time I read Ruskin Bond's books, it kind of takes me back to my childhood. It kind of takes me back to those mountains and everything. So just to, if you want to read something on Sunday, or on like on a weekend, if you want to read something refreshing, I'll definitely suggest you to read Ruskin Bond's books. It's kind of refreshing, it kind of heals you up. So after I'm done reading, like Dan Brown, Khalid Hosseini, when I'm done reading fat books, and I'm done reading everything, mythology and everything, come back to Ruskin Bond. I flip a few pages. I get his. I have a lot of books which has his lot of short stories. I just turn to one or two short stories and I read it, and I kind of feel refreshing. That was my whole point. So a little book of plants is literally this thin, and it is full of illustrations as well, beautiful illustrations. So I would recommend you to read that book. But before reading this A Little Book of Plants, I'll definitely suggest you to get introduced to Ruskin Bond's works. Get introduced to Ruskin Bond's stories, his way of writing stories, poems. Once you are introduced to his writing style, you can experiment yourself. And of course, after that, what happened? After that, I took a break of 20 days. I just did not feel like reading the first 20 days of January 2021 last year. And then I remember it was my birthday on 30th of Jan, and oh, I just revealed my birth date. Yeah, so guys, remember my whoever is watching this right now, remember my birthday is 30th Jan. Don't forget to give me books. Yeah, if you know my address, if you know me, just get it. Just if you want to give me books, just get in touch with me. I'll definitely accept books from you as my birthday gift. You can casually gift me as well. Christie's first novel I picked up. I had already heard a lot about her. I had heard that she's a beautiful writer. She's an excellent writer. And what I did was I went into a bookstore with a few of my friends. One of my friends got Fahrenheit 451. One of them got Fault in Our Stars. I thought let's experiment a bit. Let's just go to let's like go to the different section. I had been recommended by a lot of booktubers to read Brida by Paulo Coelho. So I had already read Alchemist. I thought let's try Brida. I picked up Brida, and yeah, I always wanted Brida because see the book cover is itself so aesthetic and so colorful that you would love to have it. Agatha Christie's novel was Passenger to Frankfurt. Surprisingly or ironically, whatever you say, however you say, that bookstore had a lot of books by Agatha Christie. It had her Miss Marple series. It had her Hercule Poirot series. It had her standalone books as well, and it had every kind of best books she has written. But what I did was I randomly picked up a book. I thought let's close my eyes, let's randomly pick up a book, and I picked Passenger to Frankfurt, thinking that this book is awesome. I come back home, I tell my parents, see, I got Agatha Christie, and my dad is like, wow, nice. And then I start reading it, and I find it after 20 pages, like the first 20 pages were very engaging, very interesting. 21st page, I read, I'm like, man, there is Nazi Germany coming up. So in a crime, it's a crime story. It's a criminal story, and I start reading it, and then I realize after 20 21 pages, there's Nazi Germany coming up. There's history, and I'm like, damn, what's happening? And I was like, no, I am not. This book is not my cup of tea. Not that I don't like Nazi Germany. I loved the book Thief, so. Definitely, I was not interested or not in my mood to read about history. And I had picked up to get some thrill, get some criminal introduction of Agatha Christie, but then I was like, no, this was not working for me. And then I kind of read 190 pages in half an hour. I was not actually enjoying it. When I reached to the ending, I was like, damn, this was like this book could have been finished in like 40 pages or 50 pages. Why did she write 200 pages to tell me like everything? It was so much in detail. I just did not like it. I don't know how many stars I gave this book. The rating system of Aditya is very what should I say, very I won't say very I'm not biased. I'm not I give ratings. I give good ratings to books. That's what I'll say. Because as a reader, I'm also a writer, so I feel that I should acknowledge what the author has written. So I never give them, less than 3 stars until it's really very bad or the book sucks. Um, so I don't feel that I have given less than 3 stars or 4 stars to this. Okay, I've given 2 stars. Yeah, then this book actually sucks. Uh, and if you see the audience reviews as well, they have not given the average rating out of 10,000 is just 2.90. So I'm kind of good in it, right? I gave it 2 stars. I'm good. And it's not 200 pages. It's like 363 pages. It's massive. It's actually massive. And if you see the popular questions which are asked, I'm having a hard time reading this book. I'm working my way through all Christie's book. I'm so sorry. I'm very glad this wasn't the first one. It's a short book. However, it's taken me 3 days to get into. Exactly, I can understand whoever has asked this question. It's like it's actually something like that. I had the same thing. I hate to say it, but this was terrible. It was terrible. I agree with you, sir. Whoever has written that review. Um, I think everyone has given a star or 2 stars to this. I'm ranking all the Agatha Christie's mysteries from worst to best. This book is 66 by 66. So you see my choice. I pick up a book, and it had to be Passenger to Frankfurt, and I did get a boring start to Agatha Christie. Agatha Christie is known as the criminal queen, the crime queen. I was like, no, she's not the queen. I mean, like seriously. And no one has given this book 5 stars. Oh, someone has. I don't know what this person has written. Leave it. 1 star. Oh, okay. Someone has given it 4 stars, and then he or she has written Samuel. I'm guessing is a boy. Agatha was definitely drunk, and I love it. Man, you are drunk too. I why? Why would you do that? Like, unpopular opinion. I'm sure this is a very unpopular opinion. You're giving 4 stars, and then you write down the review. Agatha was definitely drunk, and I love it. Wow, wow, very talented. No murder, but a good spy story. Yeah, and you give it 4 stars. Yeah, I probably had the same reaction. Everyone, I think almost everyone has given it a star or 2 stars. Perhaps not the worst she has written, but it's the worst I have read. Yes, I. This is exactly me. Perhaps not the worst she has written, but it's the worst I have read. Yes, that was exactly my reaction. So I give it 2 stars. Um, I don't think I had written a review. The book is pretty boring in between, and if you're not a history free, you may not like the whole book. Yeah, exactly, exactly. I mean, this is one. I wrote this an year back. I don't even know what shit I have written, but I used to, when I used to read books initially, I used to review them on Goodreads. That was the whole point. I did not have a YouTube channel, of course, so I thought of writing reviews. Story is okay. It's not the best work of Agatha Christie, but I would say it's fine. She has actually spent a lot of time developing the plot. Exactly. She spent a lot of time developing the plot, and then she started explaining the Nazi Germany in detail. It kind of messed me up. I think the main idea was to increase the length of the chapter, and she successfully accomplished it. Definitely. I kind of was criticizing Agatha Christie here. How many days did it take me? It took me quite a lot of days, if you see, 11 days. But yeah, I was pretty slow in between, like 159 and then 192, 211. I was pretty slow, yes, because it was boring. Then I definitely came up to, you know, new books. I read a lot more, like finish first, and then Can't Hurt Me. Can't Hurt Me is very heavy, like not literally heavy, but it's heavy to digest because there's a lot of pain shown in that book. There's a lot of it's a story about David Goggins, which is an ex Navy SEALs officer. I'm so sorry, I'm actually I have spoken for 40 minutes in a row, and my throat, a ripped throat. One like for throat, one like for my throat. Can't hurt me. Okay, let me show you how David Goggins, um, how David Goggins actually looks. Uh, don't judge me by my search history because it said David Beckham body. I'm sure you are able to see what I'm trying to show you. This is exactly what was there in the whole book. And you see his transformation, right? This is how he looked, and this is how he became. That's exactly. It's a very motivating story. It's a really motivating story. Pre Navy SEALs and after becoming a Navy SEAL. That's how the transformation is, and it's literally a very inspiring story. But then the words he has used, exactly this word has been used a lot of times. So if you're not comfortable using this, you know, if you're not comfortable to these words, I won't suggest you to read it because it's there in literally every page. So yeah, but then it kind of boosts the younger generation, I guess. When we hear these words these days, I'm not very sure about the older generation, like older generation in the sense the people who were born in 60s, 70s, 80s. Not really sure if they would agree to what I'm saying, but the younger generation, the kids born in 2000s and 90s kids would agree to the fact that these words kind of motivate us these days. So, not exactly these words, but then there are a lot of other words, a lot of profanity and swearing that's kind of used as an inspiration these days. So, yeah. Talk like Ted, I remember, going into a bookstore and I went for book hunting. I spent 1 hour and I got Talk Like Ted. Just one book I got for myself and it was Talk Like Ted. That was amazing because after that I started watching a lot of TED content which is available on YouTube. I watched Steve Jobs TED Talks and I watched a lot of TED Talks. Complete novels of Sherlock Holmes. I was very inspired by Sherlock Holmes after watching the Netflix series, the Benedict Cumberbatch, whatever his name is. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it right, but that series was definitely everything, But when I read the book, it was completely different from what the series is. That's why I don't recommend anyone to read to see the film or to see the series first rather than reading the book. Read the book because it's quite different from what is there in the series. And then, of course, you can see three of the best Agatha Christie's books that I read. And these were exactly why I started loving Agatha Christie. The sad part is that I did not read any Agatha Christie after the murder of Roger Ackroyd. I just did not get time. Then I read Ruskin Bond's Love Among the Bookshelves. It's a signed copy, which I have. The India I Love, I read this again. The Love Among Bookshelves is not a story that is it's not a romantic story. It's a story about Ruskin Bond's childhood, his favorite books, and there are parts from his favorite books. Like there's a Charles Dickens book on this Wuthering Heights, which is there. Extremely beautiful book. So it kind of gives you a refreshing memory of a lot of old literatures and old classic books which are there. So do check this book out as well. Satyajit Ray, this has a lot to do with filmmaking. Satyajit Ray was an amazing man, photographer, cinematographer, director, producer, writer, singer, dancer, everything, actor, excellent, fabulous actor. His first film was Pathir Panchali, I guess, and there's a lot of behind the scenes in this book by Deep Focus by Satyajit Ray, and a hardcover book, of course. Thousand Splendid Suns I read because when I was on a trip, I was on a trip to Masuri, no, Nainital, and then I read A Thousand Splendid Suns. It's a very heavy book, heavy, not literally heavy in the sense that it has a lot to do with playing with your emotions. It's a heart wrenching story, and it completely moves you from inside. Paulo Coelho, The Archer. I picked this book up. Yes, I picked up this book as well. It's an illustrated book. It's a very short book. It's a book with a lot of teachings. Somerset Maugham's Razor's Edge is what I read again. This was my dad's book, one of my favorites from my dad, and I have made a video on this as well. If I show you, you will definitely like to see it, I guess. Um, I have made a video. I made it in the initial months of my YouTube channel, and mm, the net does not. Okay, it worked. So if you go down, you will see the Razor's Edge was the fifth episode. Not playing it. Razor's Edge was the fifth episode on my YouTube channel. The Zahir by Paulo Coelho was the fourth book I read by Paulo Coelho, and that's the last book also because I have not read after a Paulo Coelho book after that. I'm planning to, but I just don't want to. I don't know. I want to. I wanted to read 11 Minutes. I wanted to read The Pilgrimage. I wanted to read Hippie by Paulo Coelho, but then I just did not feel like. I don't know, kind of lost interest in Paulo Coelho. I want to read two more of them, at least like 11 Minutes and The Pilgrimage for sure. Ruskin Bond's illustrated book and a lot of Ruskin Bonds after that. This was the shortest book I read. It was 95 pages long, I remember. Dan Brown series, I started reading a lot of Dan Brown after that. I read Angels and Demons, which I recommend to a lot of people. It was the first book of the Robert Langdon series. Robert Langdon is the character which gets introduced in the whole scenario to us, Angels and Demons. That's the first ever book by him, and that's the most thrilling book. I don't know why people. I mean, I respect people's opinions, but then a lot of people recommend the Da Vinci Code. Anyone, I also I also heard about Dan Brown from the Da Vinci Code only, because many people were like, read Da Vinci Code, read Da Vinci Code, and I was like, what's there in Da Vinci Code? I want to read something more, and then I started researching about Da Vinci Code, and I found out that it's a book, it's a part of series. Like there is a whole series, but then you can pick out any book from that series, not definitely to be in an order. So I thought to pick up from the first, to start from the first book, and I loved this book, Angels and Demons. It's more of, it's not Angels and Demons, it's more like about ancient secrethood societies like Illuminati, and everything comes into play, and it's a thriller book. It's amazing. And somehow I like Angels and Demons more than Da Vinci Code. Da Vinci Code is also good. It's more of Holy Grail and everything. So Da Vinci Code is also a gripping novel, but it's kind of boring in between. And that's what I feel. I mean, you have every right to hate me after this, but I kind of felt boring. Kind of felt boring. I then, you know, once you have got introduced to these two books of his by Dan Brown, you will be pretty sure, and if you have read these two books, then you will be pretty sure about his writing plot. You'll get the central plot of Dan Brown, and it is always revolving around that same plot. The Lost Symbol, there are three more books after these, and it is The Lost Symbol, Inferno, and Origin, and it kind of revolves around the same plot. So Lost Symbol was boring, Inferno was good, okayish, and Origin was boring, kind of boring. Not boring like Lost Symbol. Lost Symbol is pretty huge. It's literally boring. Three Cups of Tea is a good book. It's a non-fiction. Emotions and Relationships by Sadhguru is an amazing book to read. It has a lot of things about emotions, a lot of life lessons about emotions. And then relationships is more like talking about a bond or bondage. So it's like two books in one. I'll like show you once we go to once I make a book, maybe a bookshelf tour or something. I would definitely make emotions and relationships like something. Then I got introduced to Devdutt Patnayak's books, and I read a lot of Indian mythology: Jaya, Sita, Gita, Seven Secrets of Shiva, Vishnu, Krishna, not Krishna, uh, Vishnu, goddess, and Shiva. And then I read the Lone Fox Dancing as well, which is Ruskin Bond's autobiography. I read 12 Rules for Life because it was recommended a lot of times for me, but then it is kind of boring because it gets you into a lot of psychological details, a lot of psychological details. It's kind of boring sometimes. You don't have to go into that. You don't have to dig in so deep to at least understand that story. It's a non-fiction book, of course. Then Dear Life was a good book. It's a pocket book, short book. It's a good one. Pandemonium is more about advertising. I loved it, to be honest. I loved it. It's on advertising. It's on behind the scenes of the one of the most famous ads ever made. Piyush Pandey, Pandemonium is a good book to read. Maya Angelou is, because I wanted to read a lot of poetries, so I thought to get a poetry book of someone who is one of the most famous poets in the world. So I thought to get Maya Angelou's book. Haruki Murakami, Kafka on the Shore, is again a very, very interesting read. I'm actually reading the second book by Haruki Murakami after 1 year, after actually 1 year, and it is the Norwegian Wood. I'm going to finish it in 2 or 3 days or 4 days maybe, depending upon how my daily schedule is. Again, Ruskin Bond. Looking for Alaska was interesting. It was an interesting read, but then it got boring in between. But then again, it got interesting. The ending was quite predictable for me. So looking for Alaska was also a good read, an average read for me. Satyajit Ray's again. This was Ravi Shankar's. Yeah, this was Satyajit Ray's Ravi Shankar. This was an illustrated book. I still have it somewhere kept there. It's more of when you have to go into the behind the scenes of films and stories like that. Definitely have to if you have to check this book out, I'll provide the link in the description box below. Anupam Kher, he recently there's a film which I feel that everyone should be aware of, and it is the Kashmir Files, and it's about the genocide which occurred with the Kashmiri Pandits and how they were thrown out of their own houses, their own homeland, and either they were given three options: either you convert or um, you convert to Muslim, become a Muslim, or you run away or you die. That was the three things. And then there was genocide which occurred. Genocide was depicted, and it is a brutal movie, a brutally honest film by Anupam Kher. I am not sure if you have heard. I'm sure you would have heard about it. You should definitely check it out. It's definitely 18 plus. But yeah, you should check out the Kashmir Files. It's an amazing film and shows you the brutal truth. I read these two books by Anupam Kher. He has written three books. Third book is his autobiography. I've not read that. I'm planning to read it. I'm sure he'll write a fourth book too. Your best days today, and there is this book called The Best Thing About You Is You. These are the two books written by him. If you want to read a book by Anupam Kher, I'll definitely suggest you to read The Best Thing About You Is You. This is more of COVID times and a diary written by him during the COVID times. I also then started reading Clifton Chronicles, and I read this by Dr. Brain Weeks, that is Many Lives, Many Masters. It's a psychological non-fiction book treating a psycho patient. That's what is described, and it's an eye-opening. book. Sapiens is definitely a brief history of humankind, as the title suggests. Roomy, hidden life of trees. This one is a good book. This was a non-fiction book. Alistair MacLean's books were amazing. I mean, those were better than Agatha Christie, I feel that. This one was a classic book which I read. That is A Passage to India. Six of Crows is one of the most beautiful books I have on my cover on my bookshelf. Man Called Ove. That's how I guess you pronounce it. Ove, Obi something. Man Called Ove is another funny. It's a funny and emotional book at the same time. Very emotional, I guess. It gets very emotional at the end, and it's very funny in the beginning. Um, the Girl on the Train, I was able to relate to this book a lot, and this was a psycho thriller that was kind of, facing a small part of problems which the girl faced in this, uh, and it was kind of relatable to me, so I kind of liked this book. The autobiography of a yogi, I think I gave this book 5 stars because it's amazing. It's interesting and it's very amazing, but definitely not recommended for 17 or 18-year-old person because it has a lot of details and it's a very heavy book. You'll have to sit with a dictionary to read this one. Last Lecture is an interesting book. I'll recommend everyone to read it. It's a life-changing book. Franz Kafka's Metamorphosis is a mind-sucking book. The Lonely City, it's in a good sense. I'm not criticizing the book. The Lonely City, it was okay, okay. This was Wuthering Heights, of course, by Emily Bronte, and it's amazing, interesting read. It is the best book ever, I guess, best classic I have ever read. Road Ends by Mary Lawson. I was just impressed by the book cover, and I got it for myself. And Road Ends was not that good. I mean, I did not enjoy reading it. Then again, I got into Indian mythology and Devlok with Devdutt. This is a television series which used to come and it was then later converted into a book. So I'm planning to come back with my mythological series as well, and maybe I'll do it this not this month, but maybe in May or June I might come back with my Indian Mythos series, and I'll make a video on Devlok by Devdutt, and then probably make a video on Shyam, which is also a book which was gifted to me by one of my friends. Um, Gig economy talks about Ola and Uber, all the gig things. Best kept secret is again a third book of the Clifton Chronicles series. This is life like I did not enjoy it. It was a science fiction. People have given it 3.96 average ratings. I just did not like it that much. My rating is again 2 stars. Um, Devlok I had given 4. Gig economy I had given 3. This one I had given 4. Mostly I give books 4 stars. 3 stars or 2 stars are very rare for me. I guess 2 stars and 1 star is very rare for me. 3 stars and 4 stars, that's what I give generally. Also, I have to make a video on Indian authors. I want to discuss more about Indian authors. I want to discuss more about what Indian authors are, who are the best Indian authors, and I respect everyone's opinions. I respect what people think about Chetan Bhagat, what people, many people hate him, many people do not hate him. I'm neutral. I'm like he's a writer too, and he deserves the respect because I think after Chetan Bhagat had introduced books in India, I think many of them have started reading. I mean, actually reading. So yeah, in my introductory phase as well, I was introduced to Chetan Bhagat, and after Russian Bond, I have read a lot of Chetan Bhagat books as well. I have 2 signed copies by him as well. 400 Days was his latest book, and I gave it 5 stars. Why I gave it 5 stars, I'll discuss it in a different video because it's already an hour long video now. So yeah, it's mainly because that he has helped a lot of Indians to get into reading, and a lot of Indians have started reading Chetan Bhagat, and Chetan Bhagat is something which goes in the introductory phase of a reader. Rafa, my story, it's about Rafael Nadal. Though I love Novak Djokovic, but Novak did not write an autobiography till yet. Rafa wrote, so I read it. Bill Clinton and Patterson. But James Patterson, I'm sure you would have heard him, but Bill Clinton has definitely written two books. Bill Clinton is a former U.S. president. You heard it right. It's Bill Clinton, and yes, that's exactly what he has done. What if is a very it's a very interesting book. It's that he left NASA and everything, and the author of this book, What If, answers seriously to the most absurd questions ever asked on his website. The last book I read of 2021 was The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck, and it was just like the name suggests. I mean, just ignore everything and this F word. That's exactly how the book is. When I've given it 3 stars just because it was same scenario repeated again and again. So it's like a lot of fuck is used. I mean, F word is used a lot of times, and it's kind of not that good. So 76 of 75 books read in 2021. This year I have read 6 books. If you see, this year I have read 6 books. I'm not sure how exactly I show you people. Um, Shout out to my Goodreads friends. I mean, Book Thief, Do Epic Shit, Sudha Murthy's 3000 Stitches, Picture of Dorian Gray, Becoming by Michelle Obama, and then A Promised Land by Barack Obama. These days I was obsessed with Obama's, so Obama obsession was there. And definitely, I mean, I have already spoken for 1 hour. Damn, and my throat, rip my throat. I'll quickly give a shout out to all my friends on Goodreads. If I'm sure that's how I would be. I mean, not getting to my how do I see my friends? I mean, definitely there's a webcam coming, so I'm not able to show you who my friends are on Goodreads. I would definitely give a shout out to all my 6 friends who are there on Goodreads. Someone liked my review 3 months back. Shout out to Rishika, who was a very close friend of mine. Shout out to everyone who became my friend on Goodreads. And after watching this video, if you are on Goodreads, you might like to be my friend on Goodreads. Just send me a request on Aditya Ansh. Just type Aditya Ansh. I'm sure you will definitely get what you're looking for. Right. This is my profile. 17 years old. Joined in 2021 Feb. Last active this month. The interests have not been actually updated since a very long time. Also, my favorite books have not been updated because I do not update these things. I don't edit these things. It's just there. I left it. Shout out to all my friends. Ishita gifted me the Winter Soldier on my birthday, and I am planning to read it very soon. Thanks, Ishita. Shout out to you. I'm sure you are watching it. Shout out to Ishita. Shout out to Rishika also. Um, and shout out to everyone. Yes. With that, I'll end this video. Rest in peace, my throat. I can't speak properly now, and it's already 12:04 a.m. when I'm recording this. I started recording at 11 a.m. It's an hour and 2 minutes, 3 minutes since This is the longest video on my YouTube channel. Thank you guys for watching this, and that's a little talk session on Sunday. I don't know when you will be able to get this video. Maybe this week, maybe on Friday or Saturday, whenever you are watching this video. So for now, bye bye. We'll meet next Sunday with a new video. And thanks for watching. You won't have an outro today, or you won't have an intro today. So thanks for watching, and bye bye. Bye. Thanks for